Did you know almost half of men over 50 deal with prostate changes, and some common foods may add to the risk? Recent data show that men who eat high amounts of certain items can have 20–30% higher markers of inflammation. Many of those foods are in our daily meals without us noticing. What if a few simple swaps could ease some strain on prostate health? Today we look at 9 foods you might cut or limit to support prostate health. Before we start, let us know in the comments below where you're watching from. I'd love to know and say hello. Now let's begin with number 1, processed meats. Processed meats include bacon, hot dogs, sausages, deli slices, and other items preserved with salts, nitrates, nitrites, and similar additives. These products often undergo curing, smoking, or chemical treatments to extend shelf life and deepen flavor. When processed meats are cooked, especially at high heat, compounds called nitrosamines can form. These compounds may irritate cells and contribute to low-level, ongoing inflammation. Inflammation is the body's natural response to injury, infection, or stress. When inflammation persists over weeks or months, it is called chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation in tissues can affect how cells grow and how they repair themselves. In the prostate, ongoing inflammation may encourage tissue changes that lead to swelling or enlargement. In addition, processed meats often contain more salt and added fats that can affect blood pressure, fluid balance, and how the body handles fats. Over time, high salt intake can affect circulation, and certain fats can influence signals tied to hormone balance. Both circulation and hormone signals play a role in how tissues respond to growth cues. By reducing processed meat intake, you lower exposure to added preservatives and to compounds formed during cooking. When you replace processed meats with fresh protein sources, your body receives fewer irritants that trigger inflammation. Fresh options include beans, lentils, plain poultry, fish, or lean cuts of meat without curing agents. Cooking these fresh proteins at moderate temperatures, avoiding charring or overcooking, further limits formation of harmful compounds. Making these swaps can gradually reduce the steady load of inflammation-related signals. Over weeks and months, a lower inflammation level can help keep prostate tissue from reacting in ways that encourage enlargement. In practice, you might choose eggs or legumes for breakfast instead of bacon or sausage. For lunch, use grilled chicken or fish rather than deli slices in sandwiches. When you do eat meat, aim for moderate portions and gentler cooking methods such as steaming, poaching, or light sautéing. This change supports smoother function in pathways tied to inflammation and repair. Processed meats can feel convenient and familiar, but cutting back helps the body maintain balance in repair processes. Combining this shift with eating more vegetables, drinking enough water, staying active, and keeping weight in check creates conditions where prostate tissue is less likely to swell. This step alone may not guarantee a specific shrinkage amount, but it supports overall balance in how the body handles stress and repair. Number 2, full-fat dairy products. Full-fat dairy covers whole milk, heavy cream, full-fat cheeses, and some yogurts with high fat content. These foods deliver more saturated fat per serving than lower fat versions. They also contain natural hormones that are present in milk. Research suggests that high intake of saturated fat and certain growth-related factors in dairy may influence signals that encourage cell growth. In prostate tissue, persistent exposure to such signals may lean toward enlargement over time. Saturated fats can affect how the body handles cholesterol and related lipids. Higher saturated fat intake can lead to changes in blood lipid levels, which may affect inflammation pathways. Inflammation in tissues, if persistent, can cause them to respond by growing or by behaving in ways that lead to symptoms like urinary urgency. By choosing lower-fat dairy or plant-based alternatives, you reduce saturated fat intake and limit exposure to hormones in full-fat dairy. For example, use skim or low-fat milk, choose yogurt labeled low-fat without added sugar, or try almond, oat, or soy drinks instead of whole milk. These swaps lower factors that may support pro-growth signals. This does not mean eliminating dairy entirely. You can include small amounts of lower fat dairy in a balanced diet if overall fat intake stays moderate. Beyond dairy, ensure you get calcium and vitamin D from vegetables, fortified plant milks, or supplements if needed. Over months, reducing saturated fat helps stabilize blood lipid levels and may ease markers of inflammation. A body environment with less chronic inflammation and more balanced growth signals is less likely to encourage prostate tissue enlargement. Also watch overall calorie balance and weight. Switching to lower fat dairy while adding many high calorie items may not help if total calories remain high. Pairing this change with plenty of vegetables, whole grains and lean proteins helps maintain healthy weight and eases pressure on systems tied to inflammation. This in turn may help slow or modestly reverse prostate enlargement trends over time. Gradual shifts, like using low-fat cheese in recipes or trying plant-based milk in coffee, can add up. Pay attention to labels so added sugars in low-fat yogurts do not offset benefits. Focus on plain or lightly flavored options and add fresh fruit or spices at home for taste. Number 3, red meats. Red meats such as beef, lamb, and pork often contain more saturated fat than poultry or fish, especially in fattier cuts. Frequent intake of high saturated fat meat can contribute to chronic inflammation. Cooking red meat at very high temperatures, grilling over an open flame, pan frying until browned or charred, can create compounds called heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. These compounds increase oxidative stress in cells. Oxidative stress is a state where reactive molecules exceed the capacity of the body's defenses, causing damage in cell structures. Over time, oxidative stress combined with inflammation can influence how tissues grow and repair themselves. In the prostate, exposure to such stresses may tip the balance toward tissue changes and enlargement. Diet also influences hormone levels. High intake of certain fats can affect how the body makes and processes hormones related to growth. By reducing red meat portions, choosing lean cuts, or replacing some servings with fish, poultry, or plant-based proteins, you lower intake of saturated fat and potential harmful compounds. When you eat red meat, use gentler cooking methods like stewing, braising, or baking at moderate temperatures, which produce fewer harmful byproducts. Substituting beans, lentils, tofu, or tempeh in some meals helps diversify protein sources and adds fiber, which supports healthy digestion and weight management. Fiber-rich foods feed beneficial gut bacteria, influencing inflammation and hormone metabolism. Over time, moderating red meat intake and focusing on variety supports steady energy, stable weight, lower inflammation, and balanced hormone signals. These shifts create a body environment where prostate tissue is less prone to enlargement. Small, consistent changes, like having red meat once or twice a week instead of daily, opting for smaller portions, and pairing meat servings with plenty of vegetables, make a difference over months. Plan meals ahead to mix protein sources. For example, try a bean-based chili in place of a beef chili, or a fish taco night instead of steak. These swaps help maintain satisfaction while easing stress on systems tied to inflammation. Avoid charring meat by cooking at moderate heat and trimming visible fat before cooking. Over time, these habits support prostate health and also benefit heart and metabolic health. Number 4, fried foods. Fried foods include French fries, fried chicken, battered fish, donuts, and many snack items. These foods are often cooked in oils high in saturated fats or trans fats. When eaten regularly, these fats can trigger low-level, ongoing inflammation in the body. High-temperature frying can also produce advanced glycation end products, AGEs, and other compounds that raise oxidative stress. Oxidative stress and inflammation together can affect how tissues grow and function. Eating fried foods often leads to rapid calorie intake, which can contribute to weight gain. Excess weight increases inflammation and can alter hormone levels linked to tissue growth. For prostate health, persistent inflammation and altered hormone signals may encourage tissue changes and enlargement. To reduce these risks, cut back on fried items and choose cooking methods like baking, grilling, steaming, or lightly sautéing in small amounts of healthier oils. For example, bake sweet potato wedges instead of deep frying fries, roast vegetables with a light coating of oil instead of frying, or grill lean protein rather than using batter and deep oil. These methods lower intake of harmful fats and reduce creation of AGs. Focus on whole foods as snacks, fresh fruit, nuts in moderation, vegetable sticks with hummus, instead of chips or fried snacks. Over weeks and months, lowering fried food intake helps reduce steady inflammation levels, eases oxidative stress, and supports healthier weight. Less weight and lower inflammation create conditions where prostate tissue is less likely to enlarge. Gradually shift habits by cooking at home more often, planning snacks ahead, and avoiding fast food fried options. Try air frying with minimal oil if available, which uses less fat while offering some familiar texture. Experiment with spices and herbs for flavor instead of heavy batters. When eating out, look for grilled or baked options rather than fried. These changes not only help prostate health, but also support heart, blood sugar control, and overall energy levels. By lowering fried food intake, you reduce harmful fats and compounds, easing stress on processes tied to tissue growth. Combining this with other diet changes and regular physical activity strengthens support for prostate health over time. Number 5, sugary beverages. Sugary drinks include sodas, energy drinks, sweetened teas, and many fruit drinks with added sugar. These beverages deliver calories without nutrients and cause swift rises in blood sugar. Repeated spikes lead to higher insulin release. Over time, cells may respond less effectively to insulin, known as insulin resistance. Insulin resistance can contribute to weight gain, especially around the belly, and to chronic inflammation. Both insulin resistance and excess weight affect hormone balances and inflammatory processes that can influence prostate tissue. Higher insulin and related growth factors can encourage tissue growth signals. To reduce these risks, replace sugary drinks with water, unsweetened herbal teas, or water infused with slices of fruit or herbs. If you enjoy mild sweetness, try steeping herbal tea with a small piece of fruit instead of adding sugar. Carry a water bottle so you have a healthy option on hand. Limit fruit juices even if they are natural, since the concentrated fruit sugar can still spike blood sugar. Consider sparkling water with a splash of juice rather than a full sugary drink. Over time, avoiding sugary drinks helps maintain steady blood sugar and insulin levels, supports weight control, and lowers inflammation. Consistent weight and stable insulin signaling create conditions less likely to promote prostate tissue enlargement. These benefits add up. When you stop empty calories from drinks, you free up appetite for nutrient-rich foods like vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. That further supports balanced nutrition and prostate health. Also, check labels on flavored waters or canned teas. Some claims of low sugar still include added sweeteners. When eating out, ask for drinks without syrup or sauce and choose water or unsweetened options. By consistently choosing no sugar or low sugar drinks, you reduce stress on insulin pathways and lower inflammation, helping maintain a body environment less prone to prostate enlargement. Number 6, refined carbohydrates. Refined carbohydrates include white bread, pastries, white rice, many crackers, and processed grains stripped of fiber and nutrients. Such foods cause quick blood sugar rises and then crashes. These swings stress insulin regulation and can lead to overeating, weight gain, and inflammation. A diet high in refined carbs often lacks fiber, which is important for digestion, feeling full, and feeding healthy gut bacteria. An unbalanced gut microbiome may increase inflammation. Inflammation and insulin swings can influence hormone signals that affect prostate tissue. To shift away from refined carbs, choose whole grains like oats, brown rice, barley, whole wheat bread with visible grain, and whole grain pasta. Include vegetables and legumes as carbohydrate sources since their fiber slows digestion and eases blood sugar response. When you eat whole grains and fiber-rich foods, you feel full longer, which helps manage calorie intake and weight. Stable blood sugar and better weight control reduce inflammation and help keep hormone levels in balance. Over months, such changes support a body environment less likely to encourage prostate enlargement. Practical steps. At breakfast, pick oatmeal or whole grain toast instead of sugary cereal. At lunch, use brown rice or quinoa instead of white rice. For snacks, eat fruit or nuts rather than cookies or crackers. Experiment with recipes that use whole grains, for example, grain bowls with vegetables and lean protein or soups thickened with barley or lentils. When shopping, read ingredient lists. Choose items where whole grains appear first. Gradually replace refined grains so taste adapts over time. Avoid highly processed snack foods that combine refined carbs with added fats and salt. By focusing on whole grains and fiber-rich produce, you support digestion, steady energy, and weight management. These effects lower inflammation and stabilize hormone signals, helping keep prostate tissue from growing excessively. This change also benefits heart health, blood sugar control, and overall well-being. Number 7, artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners appear in diet sodas, sugar-free snacks, and many low-calorie products. Although they cut sugar calories, research suggests they may affect how the body handles sweetness and insulin signaling. Some studies indicate artificial sweeteners can alter gut bacteria balance. The gut microbiome plays a role in digestion, immune function, and inflammation. If gut flora shifts unfavorably, inflammation may rise. Inflammation affects many tissues, including the prostate. Some evidence links artificial sweetener use to altered insulin response or to cravings for sweeter foods, which can lead to higher calorie intake from other sources. Taste signals without calories may confuse the body's regulation of appetite over time. To support prostate health, limit artificial sweeteners. Reduce reliance on diet-labeled foods and drinks. If you need some sweetness, use small amounts of natural options like stevia or small servings of real sugar, while gradually training taste buds to prefer less sweet flavors over time. Focus on whole foods and plain items. Plain yogurt with fresh fruit, herbal tea without sweetener, or water with a slice of lemon. Over weeks, lowering artificial sweeteners can help gut bacteria rebalance, reduce inflammation signals, and stabilize appetite. Stable appetite and less inflammation support balanced weight and hormone levels, which in turn help keep prostate tissue from growing excessively. Practical tactics include reading labels carefully, choosing unsweetened or lightly sweetened items, and cooking more at home so you control added sweeteners. When baking, reduce sugar in recipes and use fruit puree or spices for flavor. Over months, these habits help restore a healthier gut environment and ease stress on metabolic and immune pathways. Combined with other dietary steps, limiting artificial sweeteners adds to an environment supportive of prostate health. Number 8, alcohol. Alcohol can affect hormone metabolism and increase inflammation when consumed frequently or in larger amounts. Moderate drinking may not harm some people, but heavy or regular intake can stress the liver. The liver is key for processing hormones and removing toxins. If liver function is impaired, hormone levels may shift in ways that influence prostate tissue. Alcohol also provides empty calories, which can lead to weight gain. Excess weight and inflammation relate to prostate enlargement. To support prostate health, consider limiting alcohol intake. If you choose to drink, keep amounts low and avoid binge patterns. For men, this may mean no more than 1 drink per day and ideally fewer days per week. Explore alternatives like sparkling water with fruit slices or herbal teas to replace drinking habits. When socializing, pace drinks and alternate with water. Over time, reducing alcohol helps the liver work more efficiently, keeps hormone balances steadier, and lowers inflammation. These effects support a body environment less prone to prostate tissue growth. Cutting back on alcohol also frees up calories for more nutrient-dense foods, aiding weight management. Notice how energy and sleep may improve when alcohol is limited, better rest and more energy support, regular exercise, which further aids prostate health. If alcohol has been a strong habit, seek support from friends, family, or health professionals. Small, consistent steps, choosing alcohol-free days, trying non-alcoholic beverages that mimic familiar tastes, or setting limits in social settings help over weeks and months. These changes reinforce other diet shifts to create an overall pattern that supports prostate well-being. Number 9, high saturated fat, fast foods and snacks. Fast food items and many packaged snacks often contain high levels of saturated and trans fats, salt, and additives. They are designed to taste very appealing, which can lead to overeating and frequent consumption. Diets heavy in these foods promote chronic inflammation, weight gain, and hormone changes linked to prostate enlargement. They often lack fiber, vitamins, and minerals needed for healthy cell function. To support prostate health, reduce or eliminate fast food meals and replace packaged snacks with whole food options. Cook meals at home using vegetables, lean proteins, legumes, whole grains, nuts and seeds. For snacks, choose fresh fruit, raw vegetables with hummus, a small handful of nuts, or plain yogurt with fruit. When you remove high-fat fast foods and snacks, you lower intake of harmful fats and additives, reduce inflammation, and help control calorie intake. Over weeks and months, these changes support weight loss or maintenance and steadier hormone and inflammation signals. A body with less chronic inflammation and healthier weight is less likely to encourage prostate tissue growth. Plan meals ahead to avoid last-minute fast food choices. Prepare simple dishes in batches, carry healthy snacks when out, and develop routines for grocery shopping and cooking. Read labels to spot hidden fats and salt in packaged foods. Choose items with minimal ingredients and no trans fats. When eating out occasionally, look for menu items, grilled or baked, and ask for sauces on the side. These habits support prostate health and also improve energy, mood, and overall well-being. Combining this with regular physical activity, adequate hydration, stress management, and sleep hygiene creates a supportive environment for prostate health. Bringing it all together, cutting or reducing these 9 food categories helps lower chronic inflammation, balance hormone signals, and aid weight management. These factors influence prostate tissue behavior. While diet alone may not guarantee a precise shrinkage amount, combining these steps over time with medical guidance, regular exercise, and healthy lifestyle habits can help ease prostate enlargement and related symptoms. Start with one change at a time. Pick one habit to adjust this week, then build on it. Track small wins, notice how energy, digestion, or sleep may shift. Consult your healthcare provider for monitoring and guidance. Small shifts today can lead to better comfort and function down the road. That wraps up the 9 foods to consider cutting or limiting for prostate health. Which tip will you try first? Drop a comment with your experience or questions. If this was helpful, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss future updates. Thanks for watching and take care of your health until next time.